In 2004, Swiss midfielder Paulo Diogo scored a late goal for Servette in the Swiss Super League. Overcome with emotion, he sprinted to the corner and jumped up onto the fence to celebrate with the traveling fans. But disaster struck in one of the most gruesome celebration accidents ever recorded. Diogo had forgotten to remove his wedding ring, and when he leapt down, the ring caught in the metal fencing. The force ripped away part of his finger. Players and supporters immediately noticed the horror, and Diogo was rushed off for treatment. To make matters worse, the referee followed the rulebook and showed him a yellow card for excessive celebration, an unforgettable insult added to a devastating injury. Though he continued to play professionally, that moment overshadowed his career and remains a chilling reminder of how dangerous spontaneous fan celebrations can be. Clips and images of the accident have since gone viral many times, replayed whenever the subject of goal celebrations gone wrong comes up. It's one of the few moments in football where joy instantly turned into tragedy, and it changed the way players around the world thought about jumping into the stands with jewelry on. Martin Palermo, Boca Juniors' legendary striker and one of Argentina's most beloved forwards, had his career almost derailed by a celebration accident. In 1999, during a league match against Vélez Sarsfield, Palermo scored and rushed toward the fans behind the goal. Adrenaline pumping, he leapt onto an advertising board to salute the Boca faithful. But the board wasn't stable. It collapsed beneath his weight. As Palermo landed, his knee twisted awkwardly, and he tore ligaments badly. The injury sidelined him for over 6 months, right at the peak of his form. It was heartbreaking for Boca and Argentina, who were counting on his goals, and it became one of the most famous celebration fails in South American football. Fans still recall it as the day joy turned into silence at La Bombonera. Palermo eventually recovered, later scoring iconic goals for Argentina in the 2010 World Cup, but he always admitted that the accident changed the way he celebrated. Instead of wild leaps, he became more cautious, often raising his arms or running to teammates instead. His story remains a warning. Sometimes passion with the fans can come with a painful cost.
Cristiano Ronaldo, the most followed footballer in the world, is famous for his iconic "Su" celebration. But not every one of his signature leaps has gone to plan. In 2018, while playing for Juventus, Ronaldo scored and ran toward the corner to launch into his famous mid-air spin. This time, though, his landing wasn't perfect. He jarred his ankle on the grass and limped for a few moments, holding his leg as fans feared the worst. With his reputation for athletic perfection, seeing him nearly injured while celebrating was shocking. Earlier in his Real Madrid career, Ronaldo also had a near miss in the Champions League, when a knee slide carried him straight into the advertising boards. The crash looked painful, and for a moment, it seemed like he might be hurt more seriously than from the actual match action. Ronaldo's celebrations are designed to show power and control, but they've also shown how even superstars can suffer when adrenaline takes over. Fortunately, he always bounced back quickly, but fans never forgot those moments when the celebration almost cost him more than the game itself. Clint Mathis, the American striker known for his mohawk, fiery personality, and knack for big goals with the US national team, once injured himself after a wild celebration with fans. During his MLS career, Mathis scored and ran straight into the stands to embrace supporters, but in the rush, he misjudged his leap and came crashing down on a concrete barrier. Instead of high fives, he limped back in pain, clutching his leg. The crowd's joy quickly turned into concern as he had to be treated and eventually taken out of the match. Though not career-ending, it was one of those moments that showed how dangerous jumping into the fans can be, especially in stadiums with metal fencing or hard barriers. Mathis always carried a reputation for passion and intensity, but this incident became part of his legacy too. Even years later, US fans remember the celebration that cost their striker valuable minutes, and proved that sometimes the concrete is harder than the defenders. Neymar Jr., one of the most skillful and marketable players of his generation, has had his share of dangerous celebrations. At Barcelona, after scoring an important goal at the Camp Nou, Neymar sprinted to the stands and leapt straight into the arms of the fans. The passion of the moment sent the crowd surging forward, and Neymar landed awkwardly on his hip. He immediately grimaced, clutching his side as teammates rushed over. Though he finished the match, fans feared he might have picked up an injury serious enough to keep him out. Neymar is famous for his flair and theatrics, but in that moment, his celebration nearly cost him more than the game itself. Videos of the incident went viral, with fans joking that Neymar should save his tricks for the pitch and not the stands. It wasn't the first or last time his celebrations made headlines, but this one proved how unpredictable it can be when thousands of supporters surge forward at once.
Steven Gerrard, Liverpool's captain and lifelong icon, is remembered for his leadership and clutch goals, but one of his celebrations with the fans nearly left him regretting it. After scoring at Anfield, Gerrard sprinted toward the Kop and dove into the crowd of supporters. The atmosphere was electric, but in the chaos, Gerrard twisted awkwardly and tweaked his groin. He finished the game, but admitted later that he felt the pain for weeks afterward. It wasn't a headline-grabbing injury like Palermo's or Diogo's, but it served as a reminder that even legends can pay the price when they throw themselves into the stands. Gerrard himself later joked that he should have stuck to fist pumps and arm raises instead of crowd surfing. Still, it showed how his passion for Liverpool sometimes put his own body on the line, both in tackles and in celebrations. Senegalese striker Henri Camara, who lit up the 2002 World Cup and later played in the Premier League, had a painful celebration mishap while playing in Scotland. After scoring for Celtic, he sprinted to the supporters and tried to leap onto the barrier, separating the fans from the pitch. But the landing went all wrong. Camara slipped on the surface, rolled his ankle, and immediately collapsed to the turf in pain. What should have been a moment of joy turned into a worrying scene as teammates called for medical staff. The injury wasn't career-ending, but it forced him out of matches and disrupted his momentum at the club. Fans who had been cheering seconds earlier were suddenly holding their breath, realizing they might have just lost one of their most exciting players. It's a classic case of passion going too far, and a reminder that not every leap into the arms of supporters ends well. And that wraps up our list of insane goal celebrations that went wrong, moments when pure joy turned into pain. From Diogo's finger to Palermo's knee, and even Ronaldo's near misses, these stories prove that sometimes the real danger comes after the goal. Which one shocked you the most? Drop your answers in the comments and let us know who else belongs in part 2.